Cayo Perico here. Now, in this video, I'm going to be basically explaining every prep in the Cayo Perico hive. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of preps you can do. Like you can see here, there's a lot of preps. But, you know, almost all of these are optional preps. There is very few that are mandatory, and the ones that are mandatory, well, even though some do say that they're mandatory, like you'll see here, all of these say that they're mandatory, only one is, and you can choose whichever one you want. The same with equipment, same with weapon loadout, etc. Now, I'm going to explain everything. I'm going to explain their missions. I've done pretty much all of these so far, so yeah, we'll talk. The first is, so we'll start with the approach vehicles. We'll do, so you can see here, there's 6 here. You've got the Kasaka, the Altimos, the Valium, the Stealth Annihilator, the Patrol Boat, and the Longfin. Now, all of these are actually really cool. They all have missions. Obviously, these are all set-up missions, which you can do in free mode. These, you can see here, these for demolition charges. Plasma Cutter, because, now, I will be explaining, because there is 2 types of this. You can either get Plasma Cutter, or you can get safe codes. It really depends on what you get. If you get the Madrazo files, which is your first heist, or Bearer Bonds, you have safe codes. If you have anything else, you'll need the Plasma Cutter. You also got the Fingerprint Cloner and the Cutting Torch for, for equipment. For weapons loadout, this is actually quite interesting. You get all of these. I'll explain all of them soon, and then you have Disruption. Now, we'll start with the approach vehicles. I'll explain the missions, I'll explain what you do with the approach. So the first one is the Kasaka. Now, the Kasaka, basically, you swim out from the Kasaka. Now, in order to get this, you need to steal from Merryweather. Now, you'll basically be stealing a submarine from Merryweather. Basically, think of it like the Bogdan problem. Essentially, the submarine section of the Bogdan problem, but without a AI and without a guy above you destroying helicopters. Very easy, in my opinion. It's a pretty easy prep. The only problem is it's a bit claustrophobic, so I'd recommend going in first person mode for this one. Second one you have is the Utmost. Now, the Utmost and the Stealth Annihilator actually have 2 preps. I'll select this. You can see it has 2 preps, which is Pilot and the thing itself. This is the only one that does these. The others only have 1 prep. So if you want to do these 2, you will have to do an extra prep. However, I mean, it's not a bad prep. The Utmost, you have to go to Zancudo and steal this. Honestly, it's actually a lot of fun, because there's this really cool section where which requires night vision, so yeah, I'd recommend if you do this, have a helmet, or have like some equipment with night vision to have night vision goggles. The helmet I'm wearing at the moment actually does have night vision, so as does this has night vision, so yeah. If you've got a helmet like this that has night vision, then you can, use that. But basically, you can cut the power in one part right early, which temporarily. Basically, think of it like the I'm gonna say this. I'm comparing it to the I'm comparing this to Act 2 a lot, if we're being honest with Doomsday. But think of it like Avenger, but you're the one who cuts the power. Yeah, it's very useful, in my opinion, to do this, because it gives you a good opportunity to kill as many guys as possible, because they'll be because they can't detect you in the dark unless you get really close to them. So yeah. For the pilot is actually one of 2 missions. You have the Loan Sharks and the plane. The Loan Shark mission is actually quite fun. Now, if you don't know what the Loan Shark mission is, you have to go to a house, clear the house, get out. Right? It's not that hard. It's a very easy mission. You can do it in like 2 minutes. It's very easy. You do have to do the 3-star one to level, but that's piss easy. But the other one should die. You basically have to recover a plane you have to recover a rogue. I'll try and find it. It's probably in Warstock, isn't it? Oh, what's my phone not working? But you have to recover a plane. Oh, yeah, dodos are free this week, so if you want that. But you have to recover this plane. I don't know if I can find it. It's not. It might be in Warsaw actually. Now I think of it, because it's in Smuggler's Run. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. The Rogue. You got to recover these, and this thing cannot take off the fucking ground. I hate this thing. It is my least favourite plane to fly. It's one of my least favourite planes in the game. Not my least favourite, but it's one of my least favourites. So you have to try and take that off the ground. It's very annoying. Then you have the Valiant, which is my least favourite plane in the game. Basically, you find a smuggler, gun them down, take it to an airfield. Easy peasy. The second one, which requires the pilot, is the Stealth Annihilator. Now this one you can either steal from Merryweather or you steal from a you steal from this party in Palito Bay, and then you have to fly across the map. Honestly, not too bad. You have to fight in a yacht, which isn't too bad, and you have to destroy some air defences. So yeah, it's not a bad mission, but it's a lot of fun. Patrol boat. This is actually quite an interesting one. Now this is a PBR, so immediately it's awesome. Basically, what the patrol boat is, you get a you have two options. You can either fight Merryweather or you recover it from smugglers. Now what you have to do is you have to, with the Merryweather one, it's actually, that one's quite difficult actually, because you have to fight these. You have to fight them in a warehouse. You've got to go through the warehouse. There's a lot of enemies. Like I think there's like 50 enemies at least. I'm not even exaggerating with that. And the second one with the smugglers, it's a little bit easy. You have to ambush them until the boat shows up, snipe the driver, snipe the gunner, take the boat, and try not to get killed by the incoming helicopters as you drive it into the sea. Pretty fun, but hey, that one's fun, but the other one isn't. And then you have the long fin. Now the long fin, the best thing to do with this one is, if you're going to do this, make sure you have a phantom wedge already. You're going to need that because basically you have to get a wedge. You have to steal this off a trailer, so you have to recover a wedge. And if you're like me and you have idiot friends, they will blow up the wedge that you're driving in, and then you have to recover another one. That actually happened, by the way. And I had to. That was a funny mission. But you get the long fin now. For the approaches, all of these give you different approaches. For the submarine, you basically. So for the submarine, I'm going to show you the infiltration points. If you use the submarine, you basically will James Bond-esque your way into one of the 4 infiltration points, into either the beach, the main docks, or the drainage tunnel. Basically, you'll be in a scuba suit and you'll go through there. For the boats, so the long fin and the PBR, you'll go to one of the docks, so either the main dock or the north dock, and you'll land there. If you're with the smuggler, if you're with the long fin, you'll be disguised as a smuggler. So you can instead disguise as a smuggler, and you'll have limited access around that dock. But I don't recommend doing that. If you're using the Annihilator, you drop onto one of these drop zones. I think this one's really good for Big Con because basically you can just drop anywhere. I've been rang by somebody. It's probably Leicester. For the halo jump, to get a halo jump, you need to use the Albatros, the plane. Basically, you're going to be flying above, and then you just drop out, and you land somewhere on the beach. You can land anywhere you want. However, there's an area on the south side of the island around the compound where if you try and land there, you'll be shot down by AA guns, which is not that fun. And the final thing, which is the Valium. Yeah, the Valium. You only get to drop at the airstrip. However, there is one thing. You need to have a special support prep setup crew, which you get at the top here. You'll see there. You see the lock thing. You can actually buy support crew there. You get that. There's one which you have to buy with the volume. Otherwise, you will have to go aggressive. You'll be permanently on aggressive, and you'll be on the airfield, so you'll be the furthest away from the compound to go aggressive. So remember to take that in mind if you want to either do silent and sneaky or big con. For equipment, there's 4 types of equipment, as you can see. However, these do change. However, some of these equipments will change depending on what you do. Now, we'll start with the plasma cutter. Now, the plasma cutter's main thing is that you either have this or you have the safe code. Now, with the plasma cutter, you gotta go to a safe house, take a picture of a board, and then you have to stop a robbery in progress, which is where the plasma cutter's being used. It's pretty good mission. It's actually probably the most difficult mission because, especially if you get the Del Piro one, because the enemies love hiding in the and it can be a bit awkward to get the cutter, but it's not too bad. The other one is the safe code, which I said you get with the Madrazo files and you get with the bearer bonds. But basically with that one, you have to go to the casino, silent kill a few guards, and then you can go into the building and kill the guy and get the keys from him, and you have to get the thing from him. And it's kind of interesting, quite a cool mission. And then you have to escape and make sure the police don't find you, which is easy, but yeah. The other two, now, fingerprint cloner you have to do no matter what, but basically this is you use it to clone Mr. Rugo's fingerprint, which is very useful. As for the other two, you got demolition. For this one, you have to go to the you go to a warehouse. You can kill the power, which turns off the cameras, or you shoot the cameras out, or get detected, doesn't matter. If you get detected and shoot the cameras out, you have to fight the guards inside, so you have a bit of a jump on them. There's 4 guys inside, 2 have rifles and 2 have shotguns, so you need to be careful about that. Then you have to hack a computer, and then you have to find archives, shoot out the cameras, otherwise you get guys coming after you, and then you go inside and you pick up an item and return to the attacker. Very easy prep, one of the easier ones. For the cutting torch and demolition charges, it's actually this is dependent on what approach. If you want to blow up the front door, you have to do these regardless, by the way. You have to do these regardless for some stupid reason. Even if you have no intention of going aggressive or using the drainage tunnel, which you have to use these for some reason, which I think is stupid. For the demolition charges, this is supposed to be if you go in for the the aggressive approach. However, you'll go to the front door and you blow the front door open. In my opinion, this is actually a really bad way to get in, because you immediately alert everyone in the facility, unless they were already alerted, that is. But critically, you will not get. But critically, you'll miss out on the cutting torch, which is basically you do this and you don't have to use the bolt cutters ever again. It's a very easy prep as well. The cutting torch is a much easier prep as well. The cutting torch requires you to get I think it's like you have to go to a construction site, look in a toolbox and fight, shoot a couple guys, or you can sneak around if you choose, and basically steal from the cutting torch. Now, in order to get the cutting torch, you have to discover the drainage tunnel infiltration point here. So you need to discover this first. Remember that. Now, for the other 3, you have 1 weapon loadout. Now you only have to pick 1. I'm going to pick the suppressors first. And basically, you have 4 of these. Now, this one you can see here gives you an assault shotgun, a machine pistol, grenade, and a machete. This one, which is my favourite, gives you the military rifle, a 50 cal pistol, sticky bombs, and knuckle dusters. This one gives you a sniper rifle, an AP pistol, molotovs, and a knife. This one gives you the SMG Mark II, the SNS pistol Mark II, pipe bombs, and a knife. And this one gives you the assault rifle Mark II, the pistol Mark II, pipe bombs, and machetes. Now, for these 2, you need to have a bunker, if I remember correctly. You need an MOC. You need an MOC with the weapons table in it, or you need a bunker with a weapons table. I I think you can get bunkers with a weapons table, but basically you need, I think you need the MOC with the weapons table in it, if I remember correctly, for these two. So, my recommendation is to go Conspirator, because you get the military rifle is really good. Another good thing is, basically, always buy suppressors. unless you're doing aggressive, always buy suppressors. Now, for this, you have two missions. You have the Merryweather mission, and you have the office mission. The office mission is by far the best mission out of the two, because what ends up happening is, because with that one, you just go there, you have a small shootout, a hacking minigame, and then you're out, right? The Merryweather one is the worst one, because it takes so long to do. You have to go to Merryweather HQ, which, that's not too bad. Then you have to follow a helicopter to a location, a random location. It's either like a power plant. It can be at the power plant. It can be in the middle of the desert. It can be at Grapeseed. But yeah, basically you have to go to a few locations, right? Now the problem with this is that the helicopter takes so long to get there. Honestly, most of the time I get there before the helicopter, like minutes before the helicopter even halfway there. Yeah, it's so slow. This thing will take about 15 minutes. It takes about 15 minutes at least, where the other one takes about 5 minutes. So yeah. Basically, if you get the Merryweather job, cry. And then you have these three, which are Disruption. Now, Disruption, in my opinion, it's not worth doing as much, especially if you're doing either Big Con or Silent and Sneaky. If you're doing aggressive, then fair enough. Now, as you can see, they're all optional. Now, for weapons, what you have to do for all of these, you have to do a mission on the mainland, which requires you to disrupt El Rubio's supplies. For weapons, you have to go to 3 points around the map and kill 3 enemies. Now, one enemy will be in a barrage, one will be by a helicopter, another enemy will be on the is a Juggernaut. You have to be very careful, of course, because a Juggernaut, B, a barrage, and C, a helicopter. And I think it's a Valkyrie as well. So the best thing to do is fly to the positions, blow them up with an explosive sniper rifle or just explosives in general. And yeah, do that. For armor, it's a lot easier. Armor is much easier. You go to a warehouse and you have to destroy a bunch of, destroy a bunch of crates. Then you have to find a tugboat. You have to go into a thing and you have to find this tugboat which has the final armor supplies, and you have to sink the boat. Very easy to do in my opinion, because sinking a boat's not hard. But with these you have 10 minutes for all of these. And for air support, this one's actually a little bit interesting. You have to destroy 4 helicopters. 2 on boats, 2 on the mainland. You have to destroy all 10 the helicopters. If you destroy all 10, they will lose all air support. That's another thing. If you destroy all 10 of the armor, the enemies do not have any bulletproof vests for the heist, so very useful. If you destroy the air support, if you break stealth, then the enemies won't get any air support. And with weapons, if you destroy the enemies' weapon caches, depending on how many enemies, depends on what weapons they have. So they will eventually get stuff like it'll start off they get military Mark II weapons. You destroy one, they get reduced to carbine rifles. Reduce it again further, they get reduced to assault rifles. Reduce it further again, they get micro SMGs. So yeah. So really, what my ideal was? My ideal one now for most players would be Kasatka, Plasma Cutter, or whatever, obviously these two, Cutting Torch, and then Conspirator. And then that's it. Go to the drainage tunnel and, drainage tunnel and do the mission stealth. If you want quick money and you also be out 10 minutes, that's what you do. If you you know, if you want to play it more fun though, just experiment around. Honestly, that's the great thing about Cayo Perico. You can experiment around and it's so much fun. I've hello jumped from the outmost to I've done all of these. I've done all of these basically, and they're all a lot of fun. But yeah, the only one I probably won't say is the Valium, because the Valium just, it's too much grief in my opinion. Because you have to go to the because you have to get a special prep, otherwise you're instantly detected. Other than that, you know, it's fine anyways. Anyways, I'm going to end the video here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your thoughts in the comments. What's your guys' favourite approach, you know, all of that stuff. You know, hope you guys have told you how to do some of these missions. And I'll see you guys in the next video.